Good morning, morning everyone, good morning everybody, beautiful empaths, beautiful souls. I welcome you to this video that I'm doing again in the park, but it's a bit cold. It's almost -2, I think, something like that. It's really cold out here, but welcome to the page of freedom, enlightenment, and the page of breaking empaths free. So today, before I go in, the drill is the same, people. You can always take a moment if you're new and narcissism resonates with you. Take a moment to like, share, subscribe. And for the ones that have always been with me, welcome you back to the forum, to the page, and I thank you for the love and support. Today I'm going to speak briefly about the people who find themselves getting hoovered in and out of these kind of narcissistic relationships, because I have a lot of them. I've seen a lot of them. They're everywhere, and they end up getting hoovered back every now and then. It's like they get out there, they are discarded. 2 months, 2 weeks, they are hoovered back. They're discarded. 1 week, they're hoovered back. So, people, let me tell you something. What is exactly going on behind the scenes? The narcissist is not going to let you go anytime soon. The narcissist will never let you go. They are going to hover you forever. Those individuals, they are not designed. A narcissist, they are not designed and they are not programmed to completely forget about you. They are going to hover you forever. Now, why am I making this video today? I understand because I've been there, but luckily for me, I was hoovered once. So for me it was once, and when I came into back the partnership, luckily for me, that's when I woke up and I was able to step out forever. But for the people who find themselves going in and out of those kind of partnerships, narcissistic relationships, what exactly is going on behind the scenes is that you have failed to embrace the discard. The first thing I knew, the first thing I understood and I came to conclusion to was to understand that God actually was breaking me away from a very, very toxic person. That is the first thing that came to my mind when I was living. That was the last time when I was living. I came to the conclusion that actually it was time for me to embrace this discard, because this discard was happening in my favor. People, there's something I want to tell you in particular. Many of the victims who are swinging in and out of these narcissistic relationships. Yes, I don't blame you, because I can understand. Most of the cases have been trauma bonded. So you find yourself every now and then getting back into these partnerships for no apparent reason. But I can tell you that I completely understand that situation. But what you need to understand also, to come to realize, the discard is happening for you. Yes, the narcissist has not discarded you permanently. They are going to come back sometime soon. They will go out and come in, because the narcissist is not designed. They are not programmed to let you go. They will never let you go for as long as they live. They will always come back to you. So you have got to understand that the discard, the narcissist discard, why you have always heard me talking about breaking empaths free, because sometimes I share some of these things, what exactly is going on during the discard, and how can you exactly be set free from these narcissistic relationships. What you need to understand is that the discard is actually happening for you. It is God working behind the background. God working is in the background, and God is working for you. Why? Because God is now designing the mechanism that is going to set you free for good. But for you to be set free from a narcissist, for you to have freedom from those individuals, those narcs, you have got to understand that there has got to be a discard has got to happen. First of all, for you to be set free, you have got to first of all separate yourself from the narcissist themselves. You cannot be free from the narcissist when you're still living with them and still staying with them. You have got to separate yourself from them first of all, for you to start to claim your freedom. The freedom starts with the discard. That is the thing of what many people don't understand, because when the narcissist discarded you or you discarded them, it does not matter, like I've always said. Discard is always the same. If they have discarded you or you've discarded them, what you need to understand is that that is the very beginning point of your freedom. For the most of the people, even the coaches you're following online, most of these coaches you're following online, they have got a discard story. And the secret that you need, if a coach is coaching you, a coach is telling you something about a discard or how they broke away from their narcissist, you can always follow this. I know sometimes you can find people who have families, maybe there are some kids involved or whatever, but you need to ask yourself one question. Let me tell you something. Most of us who have left narcissists, we have families with them. So we have kids with them. They can have kids with you or you have kids with them. It's either way the same. But what I'm trying to tell you is that your kids, your children, if you're the person who is wishing well for your children, for yourself first of all, and even for your children, the first thing you want to do is to separate yourself from the narcissist, because you're exposing your children to a very high level toxic individual. And you do not want your children to grow up with the narcissist people. Your children grow up with a narcissist, they are going to end up narcissists. If your children grow up, you allow them to continue their life getting involved with the narcissist, it is very likely they are going to pick up narcissism traits from those individuals you're dating. Your children, they may end up, it is very likely they're going to end up narcissists when they are growing up. So you might want to embrace the discard. You understand that the discard is happening for you. It is going to be very difficult, I know. I've always told you people, it is very, very difficult to leave a narcissist. It is very difficult, but you are the person supposed to step up. You're supposed to understand that you cannot have your freedom from the narcissist before actually going through a discard. So a discard has got to happen because the discard is happening for you. You have got to learn how to embrace the discard, because this is God's way. God is working behind the scenes to set you free. It is going to be very painful. I've always mentioned it in my videos. It is going to be very, very painful to bear. It is very, very painful to bear to leave a narcissist. It's very painful. And there is always consequences, because the narcissists, remember, they have always put you in all kinds of debts. You know, they have trauma bonded. So there's so many things have been going on in that partnership. It is going to be very difficult. There are also going to be consequences. When I was talking about my story recently, the last few days, I think 2 days ago, that was Monday, I think it was Monday, I talked about my story, and I told you that when I was leaving home, I did not even have a penny in my pocket. I did not have a penny, 1 penny in my wallet. I was just living by faith. You need to follow the videos, people. We are giving you the techniques. We are giving you the tricks. In most of these videos we are making, we are not doing these videos for nothing. We are giving you the tips you need to know if you're trying to break free from these individuals. Because I have some few. There are people I've seen online. So many people I've seen online, and they are telling me that they have been following. They have been listening to a certain coach. They have been listening to these YouTube coaches. They have spent 5 years listening to coaches online. No, people, if you're involved with a narcissist, and you're telling me you have spent 5 years online watching coaches telling you about narcissism, and you're still with the narcissist, what are you doing there? These individuals, they are very toxic people. There is nothing ever good going to come out of a narcissistic relationship if you don't start to make the moves to break yourself free. God is going to make the move for you. Yes, He's going to send a storm. And for some reason, that is the storm you're going to have. You're going to need to break free from the narcissist. But you are supposed to embrace this discard. When this discard happens, you need to understand that the discard is actually happening for you. Why? Because it is through that discard that you're going to be able to experience the best version of yourself. You're leaving a person who is very toxic and very, very evil and very toxic. So when you get yourself out of that level of energy, you're going to be able to embrace the best version of yourself. So you cannot expect anything ever going to come out of that relationship. God is using all the ways. Yes, you're waking up every morning, going to church. You're going to church every Sunday. You're praying in your room. You're praying in your bed. You're finding all ways for God to help you how to maneuver life with a narcissist. But let me tell you, God is never going to allow you to stay with a narcissist forever. God will send a storm. God will send all sorts of breaking points. You have all sorts of situations that are going to spark you, that are going to trigger a discard. When the discard happens, people, it is happening for you. You need to understand how to embrace the discard so that you can get out of a narcissist relationship. When you get out, stay out. The secret is breaking free from the narcissist is to get out and stay no contact. Sometimes even you have seen people having to move out of their cities and moving to different cities just to stay away from these individuals and block their phones whatsoever. Yes, you might have kids with them, but let me tell you, people, I've always told you in my videos, when God is setting you free from the narcissist, God is going to make God is going to put the other things in place for you. God is going to make the moves for you. The other things are going to fall in place. I left my home, I've told you already in my videos. I left my home. I had lost all my money, all my finances. I left my home without a penny. But I was ready to go. So you have got to desperately want this. You have got to be desperate to leave a narcissist. If you're not desperate to leave a narcissist, it does not matter if you're online and you're watching coaches for the next 10 years and you're not ready to make the decision, you will never leave a narcissist. So there is levels to this. When the discard is happening, when it's coming to you, when it has happened to you, it is actually happening for you. It is not happening to you, it is happening for you. So there's a very big reason behind the discard. It's a blessing in disguise. So you need to understand there is always a blessing behind the discard, the narcissistic discard, because God is separating you from that level of toxicity, and you're separating yourself away from dark energy. And at the end of the day, when you follow the proper steps and understand what is healing and go and take the steps to heal, all the coaches are there. They're telling you what you need to do. Even on my videos, I've shared some healing steps you need to use to heal. Because we share the steps that we've also used in our journeys to be able to heal from this toxicity. But when you heal, believe me, people, you're going to meet the best version of you. So that's what I wanted to say in my video. People, I love you all. Remember to embrace the discard. The discard is God's plan to set you free from the narcissist. That is the way God will trigger a discard. Because he has got to separate. It is going to be painful. There are consequences, financial consequences, emotional, whatever. There is all sorts of consequences when you're leaving the narcissist. But when you're leaving the narcissist, remember, it is a one-way ticket outside. There is no return ticket to a narcissist. Yes, you may be hovered 1 or 2 times. But you need to understand, people, the discard is happening for you. And that is God's plan of setting you free from this toxicity and this narcissist. Because there is nothing ever good going to come out of that partnership. No matter what you do, no matter how long you've been there, no matter how much you try and how hard you try. So embrace the discard. Understand that the discard is happening for you, and at the end of the day, you're going to successfully become the person you came here to be. That's it for my video, guys. I love you all. Much love and blessings. There's more signing out.